The only thing Sonic is I'm unleashing my werehog. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Sketch. Today, and only today, we are here to just sit down and talk about one of the greatest accomplishments and things that has just happened to the Sonic community, and that is Sonic Unleashed Recompiled. So I'm gonna get into all the little fun things about it, you know, what this means for the future, how cool this thing is, how well it runs and everything. But of course, please make sure to subscribe to your boy, support the content. Make sure to consider becoming a member too. For just $2, you have a YouTube member exclusive video that's going up every week with a discussion with a secret guest. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So literally, we were all chilling, minding our shit, and on a Saturday night, boom, this Twitter account drops that, hey, we've been working on a long time, I think it's about 6-7 months, on this thing called Sonic Unleashed Recompiled. And so it's huge for a few reasons. One, for those of you that don't know what recompiling is, I'm gonna try to explain it as simply as I can for people, because I know it's a very complicated thing that I'm about to boil down. But essentially, it means they were able to get the game's files, right, rebuild it in some way, and create their own version of the game, right? So that's kind of what a recompiling is, which this is a really difficult task. You know, for context, we only just about a year ago started getting recompiles of N64 games. So Mario 64 and I think Majora or Ocarina of Time had recently gotten recompiles, and this is a recent accomplishment. So for Sonic fans to have decided to skip fucking 5 steps in 5 different consoles to start doing this to Xbox 360 games is massive. And it's not only huge for Sonic, but just recompiling as a whole, because one, it might bring, you know, more eyes to people that want to recompile games, potentially do it for, because the big thing is PS3 games are completely stuck on PS3, very hard to, you know, mod them or emulate them and all that stuff. But is here going to 360 is a pretty huge deal. And I'm not too well versed into 360 games to know which games would deserve it or need it, but there's some games on there, there's probably some old Spider-Man games people would love to recompile and have, maybe some old Halos in their old style. But what essentially this means is they were able to make their own version of Sonic Unleashed with this. And obviously you can tell from having, you know, when you open the game and you go to the options menu, it is a completely unique menu to the game. I mean, you have graphics settings, you have audio settings, you have video settings. Dude, this game even has a feature where if you're playing a song on YouTube or wherever, or a Spotify or something, it mutes the in-game music, keeps the sound effects, but the music is still playing on your computer over the game. And it's fucking incredible. You can even do stuff like turn the werehog music off. You can change the graphics settings to be insane. You can have over 200 FPS. You can make the 4K game whatever you want. And oh my god, is it glorious. And this, I'm gonna be fanboying this entire video, because what have people been asking for forever in the Sonic community? And it's Sonic Unleashed ported. Right now, obviously, people still want a proper port, right? This doesn't mean that, you know, everything is done with Unleashed. I still think it would value Sega to port Sonic Unleashed to modern consoles, because at the end of the day, PC is still a specific market segment as opposed to the average person that owns a Switch and a PlayStation and Xbox or however, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they would add more content the same way they did with Shadowlands. I feel like, to be fair, Sega almost can't go back now, right? Now that they've done something like a Shadow Gens where they've added content to the remaster, I feel like if they don't do that going forward in some capacity, people are gonna feel somewhat disappointed. But just to go back really quickly, right? Again, the reason why this is such a big achievement is, one, this is something fans have wanted forever, right? Because remember, the game was never originally released on PC, right? People have been emulating the game or playing, you know, Project Unleashed on Sonic Generations for the longest time. You have had to do so many weird workarounds. Now, obviously, there was a few years back the Xbox enhanced version of Sonic Unleashed that I covered and talked about, where it did up the game's, you know, FPS and bumped it a little bit. Now, the game is still technically running at 720p on the Xbox version, so it is nowhere near as crispy and pretty as this. I mean, I'll put them side by side, but it is nowhere near how things look now, because this, oh my god, when I tell you this is one of the most flawless ports of a game I have ever seen, I mean that with 100%. I mean, look at this shit, bro. You can see Sonic so crispy clean. The levels run so incredibly well. The daytime levels, the nighttime levels, it is all so gorgeous. And I'm like shocked. You know what's crazy too is I didn't experience a stutter. I didn't experience an FPS drop, a stutter, nothing, bro. This is, I don't know what they did or what crack they infused in this porting system they did, but they did an unbelievable job. And I saw some people like saying that we could potentially get a Sonic 06 recompiled. Now, would people want to do that with something like Project 06 existing? Probably not, right? I mean, it really isn't a point considering Project 06 exists and it's just a much better version of 06. But if people wanted that original game, right, and wanted to add graphic settings and stuff, they could do that now, right? And I think really with Sonic games, the other ones are kind of just old school versions of Sonic games, not too many on 360 that change things up, but still, I mean, it is a huge deal. And I would love to know in your mind, what Sonic game do you guys want to see recompiled next? Because I don't know, man. This community to me is so fucking crazy. You think of something like a Project 06 that exists, which is a full-on remake of the game, right? You're looking at something like this that just came out that is, you know, native port of Sonic Unleashed. You have stuff like Project Reignition that I've covered here, which is Sonic and the Secret Rings that's being remade. You look at stuff like Sonic 16-bit Trouble, you know, which is a reimagining of that old school Sonic Triple Trouble game. You have a million projects. I mean, SRB 2K. You have stuff like there's a million things. Obviously, I'm gonna blank when I'm talking about it, but between all the fan games, the mods, controllable, you know, Sonic and the Black Knight with actual controller support, everything, there's like a billion Sonic projects that do incredible justice. I mean, you think of Sonic 3 Air, right, which is like the best way to play Sonic 3 with mods. Like this community, man, I am telling you, I just have to, as a fan of this, as someone who covers this, I have to give my thank you and my flowers to everyone in the modding community, whether you've made a fan game, whether you've made a mod, whether you've done something this huge of an accomplishment. I genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart, and you guys are the reason I stay so positive and so hype about this series. It's just because this shit is unbelievable. I mean, this dropped on Saturday and was like Christmas for Sonic fans. We were all on the timeline yelling, feasting, and we still are, right? Because what's unbelievable about this is you just ported in HD a game that people adore with their heart. Now, I don't want to get into like a full review of Sonic Unleashed because I've done that. I replayed the game a few months back. You can go check out my old review, Sonic Unleashed Revisited, where I re-reviewed the game. But, you know, surface level, just talking about it, I still love this game. I mean, to this day, the daytime stages are some of the most fun in the series, most difficult to accomplish getting S ranks in, which makes it so much fun, right? You have the nighttime stage, which I'm telling you, man, the Werehog, I love it. I mean, I grew up and I changed as a person. When I was younger, hated the Werehog. As I grew older and I tried to enter this, I was like, whatever on it. But now, you know, even without mods, right? Like when I replayed it like a few months back with no mods, I had a great time with the Werehog. Learning the combos and stuff, it's really not that bad. Now, some of the platforming can be a little iffy, right? But the best part about this remaster or you know, native port to PC for Sonic Unleashed is that it is compatible with mods that previously worked on, you know, emulated versions of Unleashed. So you could play on stuff like Shadow in there. You could play as Supersonic. You can use the foreign input system mod, which is like a update to the Werehog's moveset, right? Where you're able to, you know, do continuous combos and it's much faster. You have stuff like that. You can even download mods. Like there's one that recently came out called like smoother progression system, where it, you know, lowers the amount of medals you need to progress. It ups the amount of level ups you get from getting XP. Like they are compatible with old mods, and that is such a huge deal. Like the fact that they got this working with old mods is unbelievable, because there's years of work that will still work for the game. And this, I mean, people have wanted Sonic Unleashed on PC for so long that this is about to create a new set of mods. I mean, people are now going to port the Generations levels into Unleashed, right? They're going to start porting other games levels into Unleashed. They're going to be porting systems, mechanics, everything. Like, it's going to be a huge boon for the modding scene, right? And when it comes to Sonic modding, there's always like big changes and things that are, you know, escalating and going crazy all the time. But I cannot, you know, sit and stress enough how huge this is of an accomplishment. And like I said, I mean, me talking about it and even showing it, I feel like me showing it to you right now is doing it good justice because I tried to get like really HD footage. I think I was running the game at 4K 120 FPS on my end. Obviously at the video you're seeing it, I think capped at 1080 60, but it's so smooth. I mean, the footage itself is so crispy. Look at how beautiful Sonic is walking through the town. I mean, I genuinely think that this is now the best looking Sonic game. I'm not even exaggerating when I say like this HD port of this game is now the best looking Sonic game by 10 miles. I mean, really, and it goes to show you how ahead of its time Sonic Unleashed is. Bro, Sonic Unleashed is a 2008 video game, right? And so the fact that with, you know, no console limitations, it is able to look this pretty and run this well now and play so well, it is unbelievable what Sonic Team was able to do. Dude, this game came out 2 years after 06. How did you do 06 and then you did Unleash so quickly after? And like I said, I mean, nothing about this, you know, changes how the game plays. It does have really cool stuff, like it has an install menu that lets you install the DLCs much easier, and it's compatible with the Hedge Mod Manager, so you're able to install more content into it. But I cannot stress, bro, just how cool it is to be playing the Werehog with no slowdown, right? With speedy mods added to it. And not just that, but like no stutters and no issues with it. And including that with the fact that now you can enjoy the game like without the battle music, right? It has an option to turn off the Werehog battle theme. Now, I know some people are nostalgic for it at this point, right? Where like it has to play every time you get in a fight, but now being able to hear the level song play out the entire time you're going through a level is so cool. And I cannot stress again how cool. You guys got to try that music attenuation feature, where apparently it was a feature from the 360, but it is so cool that you can play through a level, have a song playing in the background, but the game effects stay on. I want this on more games. I think, to me, this is they've done something here that I think is now a feature I would love to see standard in most cases. Because how many times do you play a game where like you just at some point you're tired of the repetitive music and you're doing side quests and you want to just hear your own tracks? And so playing something on YouTube or whatever and just having the game effect is so cool. And like I said, I don't want to get too deep into this as a Sonic Unleashed review, but going back through all the daytime stages in this style has been a dream come true. I mean, obviously in the comment section below, let me know what is your favorite daytime and nighttime level from Sonic Unleashed. I really like the Adabat night level for the Werehog. I really love, I mean, for the daytime Sonic, I can never choose. I really do love the challenge of Shamar. I still think Rooftop Run is like a glorious achievement and celebration of Sonic, right? I mean, Apotos is still an incredible starting level for the series. There's too many good ones. Of course, let me know in the comment section below what is your favorite. But yeah, no, I cannot stress enough just how special this thing is, right? I mean, it is so unbelievable what we have here, and what this means for the future is probably up in the air. Like, one, right, obviously this puts more eyes on Sonic Unleashed. I know Sega has always seen that people want Sonic Unleashed, but I even saw IGN covering this, right, and saying like, hey, fans have been able to, you know, put out this game out, right? And like we're seeing like mainline headlines about this. There are massive YouTubers, content creators making videos about this. I'm sure Sega's sitting here being like, all right, well, should we get the gears turning on this? Because I saw some people in the conversation starting that like, oh, Sega's losing money on this. They're not losing money on it. The game's gonna sell a shit ton of copies. Anyone who's playing this is probably going to buy an HD remaster of the game. But, right, it was pointed out that it is true that now that this exists, there is no doubt going to be comparisons for when Sega does eventually remaster this game. And that's why I think like Sega's real trump card, if they remaster the game, is really to just add content to it, right? Have all the DLC available that was in the game, you know, all bundled in together. But mainly the big thing is going to be adding some kind of content. I would love maybe something like a Silver Unleashed, or even honestly give Amy a spotlight, because Amy's in the game but she just kind of stands around the town looking cute, she does look amazing in this game with how crispy the quality is, right? But yeah, I mean, dude, the cutscenes in this game are full. They look so, I can't believe it. The cutscenes look amazing. You can see the shadows on the ground. Just looking at this game almost in what it was meant to be like is amazing. And it doesn't even have the 360 piss filter that's over it. It is just so good. I know this video is just me gushing about this, but it really is an accomplishment, and it goes to show you once again how insane Sonic fans are. I mean, Sonic fans, and I always say this, right? This is something that I've always talked about, but it's not a popular opinion. Is to me, mods and fan projects, to me, are part of Sonic's identity. You know, when people are like, oh, you like this game more because of mods, that shouldn't count or whatever. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. Because to me, genuinely part of the experience of Sonic games is seeing what fans make. Whether it's added levels, whether it's added mechanics, whether it's added content even. Like, I just think that, to me, I end up loving Sonic games a lot more because of the added content to them from mods. I mean, think about how many Sonic Frontiers mods we've covered on here, extra levels, right? Or you think of, you know, even Sonic Generations, how long it lasted with mods, right? And again, remember, this isn't even a mod. This is a whole native port of the game, which means now people are going to easily be able to mod things into this. We're about to see a whole wave of Sonic skins and costumes and levels added in. I mean, this is huge. And I do hope it takes off. I hope it's not something the fans are like, this is cool, and they just kind of let go. But I think this is such a huge deal. And there really is. I mean this with all sincerity. Like, if Sega does not HD remaster this game, I would be fine. Like, this is one of the cleanest ports ever. Like I said, I was playing this shit at 120 FPS in 4K while even streaming, and the game didn't stutter or hiccup once, bro. It is such an incredible accomplishment, right? It is I think it's a new standard for even ports, right? How to optimize them incredibly well. I think it's a new standard in terms of, you know, a Sonic fan project like this. It is unbelievable stuff, right? And like I said, what I would like to see is, I'd love to see mods, right? I can't wait to see what kind of mods and things get into this, right? I'd love to see even system changes and seeing how fans could do that, right? Like, what happens when someone takes Project 06 Sonic mechanics and style and puts it into this, right? Or what fans are gonna do is gonna be unbelievable. I mean, let me know your creative ideas, what you would love to see, right? But people are about to get super crazy with this one. It means something to us, man. This is unbelievable stuff. We are seeing achievements and strides that, like I said, people have not done. Sorry about that Discord notification. But we're talking about a series, like I said, that has taken steps forward. I mean, I just told you in the beginning, N64 games just started getting recompiled. And so jumping 10 ships ahead, 5 different consoles, 3 different consoles ahead, and getting to 360 is a massive deal, right? And like I said, there's a bunch of Sonic games I would still love to see. I'd love to see Sonic Heroes somehow fixed. I know my friend Beats and Chaos X are like sort of thumbing around at the idea of what I know Sega's potentially working on a Heroes remake, but it shows you also like Sonic's history is important, right? These games that people grew up with and played are really important, man. And even with the reception that Sonic Unleashed had at the time, it is very clear that the game is so much more beloved as the years have gone on, right? And I really do hope that this HD part, I really encourage you to try this. I know a lot of people don't have access to a PC, and it is unfortunate, right, that you can't just play this. Apparently it's compatible with a Steam Deck, so if you have a Steam Deck, you'd be able to play this. But yeah, I just think that this really is something that it's so rare that there's a big moment where everybody comes together and celebrates something, and this is one of those moments. The same way that once Sonic Project 06 is done, everybody's gonna flock back to it. The same way when Sonic Reignition is done, people are gonna flock back to it. Like, there's so many projects in the works, right, that are being made, worked on, whether it's, you know, mods, fan games, or whatever, that we are such in a beautiful era, right? I mean, you've seen how many 2D games. They even, bro, I still have to cover Sonic and the Moon Facility that came out, which is another like 2D Sonic fan game that dropped. It wasn't done, but I know they dropped like the full game basically of what they had. Like, unbelievable stuff, man. Like, I cannot stop looking at this game. I'm never gonna stop playing this. Like, this is the definitive way to play Sonic Unleashed from now going forward, right? So guys, thank y'all for watching. I just wanted to make a video gush about this, talk about this. Let me know what you guys think about this port. What's got you excited? What are you most excited to see in this? Have you played it? How you feeling? Talk to me. Let me know. I love you. And of course, I'm dying. Subscribe to your boy. Support the content. Of course, I will see you all next time. Peace out.